Hey, what's up everybody? So today we're going to make some cabbage with some good old bacon and some thyme. That's right, and we're going to be using some good old avocado oil because the avocado oil can take high temperatures compared to butter or vegetable oil. So this is my go-to when I plan on cooking with, a little bit high heat. All right, now for the bacon, I'm using the bacon bits from Costco. They're already cooked and they have a nice amount of fat in it and bacon. So that way we're going to get all that flavor from the bacon into the cabbage, and we're going to get that flavor from the thyme into the cabbage as well. But first we have to cut up the good old cabbage. I know for years when it came to cutting cabbage, I pretty much would just take a knife and I just hack it up, just get to chopping to different sizes and stuff like that. But hey, in this video, I'm going to try and cut the cabbage the right way. Well, there's no wrong way really, but the way that chefs cut up cabbage. All right, so have this dry spot right here, which is where it's cut off at from the ground. And we have some layers of cabbage on here that's discolored and not looking so pretty, so I'm just going to peel these off real quick. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna cut this part off first. Voila. Cut it in half. There we go. And because I'm making this in bite size, so to speak, I'm going to go for it and cut it again. Then I have right here this big old chunk, so I'm going to cut that out. All right, so one thing to know about when you're cutting cabbage, you want to make sure that you're not just digging your knife into it, especially if you have really nice knives and you want to take care of them. You pretty much set the knife in there first, okay? And then you can continue with the cutting. And you can cut it as thick as you want or as thin as you want, but since we're doing cabbage and bacon, I don't want to have it too thin, but I want it to be pretty much in the size to whereas I can just stick it with a fork and put it in my mouth. Make sure you protect your fingers. All right, so this is about the size that I'm going to be cooking with for the sliced cabbage. Now, cabbage will change in size a little bit. It's not going to shrink too much when you're cooking. Cut up these other pieces of leaves. All right. And this is an easy dish, so it doesn't take a lot of effort in cooking this up. Not at all. And if you're not really good at cooking, don't worry about it. It's an easy dish and everybody will love it. So we have the cabbage cut up. Now it is time to get the bacon going. So that way we can add the cabbage to it to get up all that good flavor. All right, so like I said, this is the bacon that I'm going to be using. It's already cooked and it has really, really nice chunks of fat in it. I got this from Costco. This is the Kirkland brand, already cooked bacon. It's great on salads, burritos, whatever you want to put it in. This makes it so much easier when it comes to cooking. All right, so I'm just gonna lightly toast these so that way the fat can, the oil from the fat can get released into the skillet. And then I'm gonna add the thyme, and then I'm gonna add the cabbage on top of that, put the lid on it and let it cook for a little bit. Add a medium heat. All right, so as you can see, the grease is getting released in there. I'm not too sure how good you can see it. I'm just gonna reduce the temperature some to like a medium or just below a medium. Once you see the fat releasing the oils, then you can turn it down just a little bit. And I'm gonna add some avocado oil because that avocado oil is gonna take in the flavor of the bacon. One of my favorite cooking tools to use are spurtles. This one right here has the openings on it. And I also have some solid ones, some big ones, and some small ones. And these work really, really good because it gets the corners of the pot or skillet or whatever you're cooking in, as you can see. And plus it's really, really good on your cookware. You know, if you spend a lot of money on your pots and your pans and your skillets, the last thing you want to do is scratch them up and do damage to them. All right, so now that we have the it's one of those days. Now that I have the avocado oil in there with the bacon, and the avocado oil is taking up some of that flavor of the bacon, I'm going to add some of this thyme in there. And this is what is going to give the cabbage a really, really nice flavor on top of everything. Now I'm not going to add salt to this because the bacon already has a good amount of salt content in it. So I'm not going to add salt. And when you're cooking with thyme, remember that it does pop. So just be aware of it. If you have the temperature up too high, these babies will begin to pop. All right, now it's time to add some cabbage on top of this. This is going to be so delicious. I can already smell that thyme. And the bacon, it's going to be beautiful. Now I'm not going to cook this at a high temperature. Remember that. This is one of those dishes that you pretty much want the heat and the steam to do the work for you. And then you're going to end up with a really nice texture of cabbage with the flavors of the bacon and the thyme. All right, so I'm going to turn the heat up to a medium. And then when I start hearing a little bit of sizzling from the bacon, then I know that I'm at the right temp. All right, so I'm just gonna put the lid on here and let this cook up. All right, so I'll see you in just a little bit when it's almost done. All right, so the cabbage has been cooking for about 15-20 minutes. And I just wanna check on it because I don't wanna burn the bacon that's sitting on the bottom of the skillet. Now, why did I let the bacon sit on the bottom of the skillet? Because I want all that flavor from the bacon and the thyme that's under there too to go up into the cabbage. And as you can see, the texture of the cabbage, it's a lot looser now. And so now we can mix it in with the bacon and the thyme, and we're gonna get some really, really good flavor. And I did add a little bit of water, probably about a half a cup of water to the skillet because I wanted that steam to start working on the cabbage to loosen it up, because cabbage is kind of thick and it can take a while for it to break down. So using some water will give it a nice steam bath and loosen everything up. Plus it also keeps your bacon from burning. That's good. I just nibbled on a little piece of bacon that fell out the pot. Man, this is going to be delicious. And I did not add any salt, like I said, because the bacon already has a decent amount of salt in it. You can always add salt and pepper to it, but for me, when it comes to cabbage, I like to add my seasonings after everything is cooked, because then I have more control of the overall flavor of the cabbage. All right, and so there we go. The cabbage is done. This takes about maybe 5 minutes of prep work and about 25 minutes to 30 minutes of cooking, and you have yourself a nice, tasty dish of cabbage. So now you can turn the heat off. If you still have more cooking to do, like if you're making meat or something like that, another dish, then you can just turn the heat down to low or simmer, put the lid on, or you can just turn it off. The cabbage will hold its heat for a while. And the cool thing about this is that it goes well with any other meat. You can have fried chicken, you can have baked chicken, you can have a steak with this. Man, this is an all-around good side dish that goes well with everything that you cook. Pretty much everything that you cook. All right, so that's it. I'll see you guys on the next video, and hey, go cook some.